is the Bach G major Gigue.
Good morning. I'm Elizabeth Vanderputten, a member of the Board of Trustees, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to this, our first service in the spring, even if it does feel like winter. We are a community that seeks to be inclusive, welcoming, whoever you may be, whatever your sexual identity, race, background, or ability. We welcome you to bring your whole self into this community, to connect, grow, and serve. 2 years ago, spring was so different. We were reeling with the news of COVID, facing lockdowns and frightened for ourselves, our family, and our nation, and with good reason. But this spring really does feel so much better despite the issues and the war. I look forward to enjoy the season of rebirth, beauty, hope, and growth. At the board meeting last week, I read a poem by Peter Larkin that I think fits this season, and I'm reminded too as I look up at the windows around here, the poem, The Trees, and the last 2 lines. Last year is dead, they seem to say. Begin afresh, afresh, afresh. UUCA has been very important to me in reawakening in me a commitment to a spiritual journey based in community and committed to social justice. I'm grateful for the classes, the covenants, and the sermons that have helped me grow, and I look forward to continuing that growth through service today. Please join us after the service for our ice cream social. It is cold, the ice cream is great, it won't melt, and it's really fun. And those of you who are home, I hope you can join us for ice cream, at least virtually. Thank you.
Our call to worship this morning comes from the back of our gray Unitarian Universalist hymnal. These are some of the first words that called to me as an invitation to worship, to be together, when I was a young person preparing for our ministry. I have changed some of the language to fit today's standards of inclusion. The words are from the Unitarian Universalist minister, Kenneth Patton. We arrive out of many singular rooms, moving over the branching streets. We come to be assured that siblings surround us, to restore their images on our eyes. We enlarge our voices in common speaking and singing. We try again that solitude found in the midst of those who with us seek their hidden reckonings. Our eyes reclaim the remembered faces. Their voices stir the surrounding air. The warmth of their hands assures us, and the gladness of our spoken names. This is the reason of cities, of homes, of assemblies in the houses of worship. It is good to be with one another.
One of our newest rituals on Sunday is lighting a candle of compassion. This week, as we think about the war in Europe, and as we moved through the Supreme Court justice hearings, I felt like we really, truly needed a candle of compassion. I want to offer you the words of Reverend Marjorie Bowens-Wheatley about what matters and what does not matter. If recognizing the interdependence of all life, we strive to build community, the strength we gather will be our salvation. If you are Black and I am white, it will not matter. If you are female and I am male, it will not matter. If you are older and I am younger, if you are progressive and I am conservative, it will not matter. If you are straight and I am gay, if you are Christian and I am Jewish, it will not matter. If we join our spirits as brothers and sisters, the pain of our aloneness will be lessened, and that matters. In this spirit, we build community and we move towards restoration. And now, please join me in the words as we light our chalice. We gather together as a community of memory and hope to celebrate life and its infinite possibilities for love. In one voice, we light this chalice as a symbol of the light within every human heart. May our individual sparks meet and merge, bringing both light and warmth to the world.
Wake now my senses and hear the earth call. Feel the deep power of being in all. Keep with the web of creation your vow. Giving, receiving as love shows us how. Wake now, my reason, reach out to the new. Join with each pilgrim who quests for the true. Part of the beauty and wisdom of time. Suffer thy limit and praise the sublime. Wake now, my conscience, with justice thy guide. Join with all people whose rights are denied. Take not for granted a privileged place. God's love embraces the whole human race.
Thank you so much, Barbara and Wendy, for the music this morning. I would like to invite any children who might like to come up and join me on the chancel to please do so. I know Jaja's coming. Come on up. If you'd like to bring a grown-up with you, you are welcome to. Or just be right up. Well, we are present and accounted for. Let's all sit down. What do you think? Okay, great. Oh, so, let's see, sit on, yep, there we go. Do you want to come up? Do you want to sit with us? Or maybe right here? That's good too. Oh, good. Oh, yeah, have a seat. Well, I wanted today, our grown-ups upstairs are going to be talking about their faith, about what they believe and what they wonder and what they don't know the answers to yet, and what they think they know the answers to, and what they have learned since they were children and learned when they were grown-ups. And some of them were part of other religions, right? We're part of a community here at UUCA. Some of them were part of other religions when they were little. And I thought I would wear, who knows what this is called? This like purple thing that I have on. Does anybody know the name for it? Do you know? Like a shawl? That's, yeah, very close. What do you think? A sash? Yeah. A scarf. I love that they're all S's. What do you think? A robe. This part's the robe, the one that's like a long dress. A shrine? Oh, I love that though. This is actually, it is all those things. It is kind of like a sash or a scarf. But when you wear it in church, when the minister wears it, and see, Rev CTC has one too. Hers is rainbow today. It's called a stole. A stole, right? It sounds like I stole it. I didn't, though. Yeah, I know. I never thought of that before, just now. Thank you. But actually, someone gave this to me. This church gave this particular stole to me when I came here to be one of your ministers. And I wore it today because it has a lot of symbols on it. I don't know if you can see. And maybe some of you recognize some of these symbols. Does anybody, which do you recognize?
That one right there looks kind of like the one on my water bottle, I think.
It looks like the symbol on your water bottle. Do you know what, a little. Do you know what it's called, this symbol? This is a Yin Yang symbol, and it is found in Taoism, which is another religion that maybe some people here were part of when they were children or still find has meaning for them. Do you see a symbol you know? The star right here? Yes, this is it's a special kind of star. Do you happen to know what kind? Yes, it's a Star of David, which is one of the symbols of the Jewish religion, yes.
Are all of these Jewish?
No, only this one. That's a great question, Jaja, because they are all symbols of different religious traditions, but not all Jewish. In fact, this is a symbol of Christianity, a cross. And then this, we already saw the star for Judaism.
That's a symbol of a flag, I think.
Yes, this symbol is definitely on flags. This is a crescent moon and a star, and it's associated with Islam. And in fact, our Muslim siblings, or those of us here who are Muslim, are going to be celebrating a very big holiday for a whole month in Islam. They're going to be having and celebrating and observing Ramadan soon. And then this symbol is associated with Hinduism. This one with Taoism, that was your water bottle symbol, right? And then this one with Buddhism, right here. It does look like a wheel. That's exactly like a cart of a wheel for a cart with a horse. Or a wagon wheel, yes, and it has 8 spokes, like the 8 noble truths of Buddhism, yes?
And there's a candle right there.
Oh, I'm so glad you saw that. What do you see back there? The candle. Does anybody, I'm going to turn around so you all can see the back of it too. What do you think? Which religion do you think uses this symbol?
Christianity.
Christianity uses a lot of religions light candles, right?
I see lots of candles up there.
There are candles up here. And what about this right here? Does anybody know what this is called? Yeah.
The same as our church, basically.
It's our church's symbol, right? Yes. Do you know what this is called? It's a special word for a kind of candle. It's a chalice! Yay! That's right. And there's one right on the back of my stole. So what is so special about
There's also one right there.
There's one on my robe, too. You're absolutely right. My gosh, it's very hard to see. It's all black. What's so special about being part of a community like UUCA is that, yes, Jaja?
I think what's special
Oh, yeah.
is because every single church day you have to come here and you have to say our prayers.
Jaja thinks that what's special is that every single church day you have to come here and we have to say our prayers. And I think that's very right. I was going to say that those prayers we say, they can be the prayers that are in our hearts, whether they are prayers that come from a Christian tradition or a Jewish tradition or a Muslim one. Maybe we grew up with different words and different prayers. And here at UUCA, we can hold those different words in our hearts. We don't have to have all the same words to be part of the same congregation and the same community. We can all light the chalice together and still find wisdom in all the other traditions too. Thank you all so much for helping me out with my stole and the symbols on it. And yes, one last thing.
Are we going to be acting out stories?
Oh, today we didn't have a story to act out. We just had a conversation to have. But I hope that maybe you'll get to act out some stories in your classes or talk more or do art together. So I'm going to send you, yes, what last thing? Yeah.
The other side is just patterns though, right?
Yes, this is just all different patterns. You're right. But like a spiral, kind of like we see spirals in the universe, and
Triangles look kind of like Doritos.
the triangles do look kind of like Doritos, yeah, which are also pretty great. Okay, well, I'm going to send you off to your classes where there are no Doritos, but there are chalices. Thank you so much for being with me today. We are going to sing you on your way.
Peace to you on your way. May you grow in love each day, meeting new friends and opening your mind to the wonders of the world you will find. To the wonders of the world you will find.
This morning, I want to offer you the words of Anne Hillman in the space we use for prayer or meditation. Before I share these with you, let's just breathe in and breathe out and bring ourselves here in this space with these people. Another breath in and let that out. And hold yourself present. We are all on a journey together to the center of the universe. Look deep into yourself and into another. That center is everywhere. That is our holy work. That is the holy journey. You only need to look and notice and see the radiance of everything around you. Let yourself play in this universe. Tend to all the shining things around you, the smallest plant, the creatures and people and objects in your care. Be gentle, be nurturing, and listen. Always listen. Let us experience and accept all that we really are. Let us grow in care. Let us embrace each other. Let us begin as ourselves on that journey to learn to live with differences and opinions, for we are only one among the many. We are all on a journey together. Amen.
Fuente de amor, ven hacia mí al corazón, cántale de compasión, arráigame, libérame, fuente de amor. Ven a mí, ven a mí, fuente de amor, ven a mí, ven a mí. Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow clouds hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
Fix my stole shawl sash now. This is the last Sunday in March, and the last Sunday that we explore our monthly theme of renewing faith. Over the course of this month, we have considered what faith means to us as progressive religious people, what it might mean to humanists or atheists. We have thought about spiritual practice, about feeding your soul. We have thought, too, about the saints that we turn to for inspiration, whether our grandfather or Dolly Parton. But those are all the things Rev CTC and I have thought about faith. The truth is that the people who are doing faith here at UUCA is all of you. Whether you have been here 20 years or it is your very first time in the building, you are creating your faith, understanding it in the context of this congregation. And so today I have asked for, you'll see 3 listed on your order of service, but we have a late-breaking edition you will not want to miss. I have asked 4 UUCA members to share with us some of their journey of faith. Each of them has used the same poem as a kind of template, a Mad Libs, right? If you will remember Mad Libs, where you fill in the noun or the adjective. A Mad Libs to help them to consider their faith journey. And they'll share it with us today in poetry or in prose, with images and words unique to them. But in addition to exploring our own individual faith journeys, we are also on a faith journey together. Those of us gathered here in the sanctuary, those of you watching from home or from Goodwin House. And so I want to invite you to participate today in creating a poem about our faith journey together. Now, our children gave an excellent example of participatory worship this morning, and I hope that you were watching and taking notes because they could not have done it any better. This, then, is your turn. Our poem begins with an invitation to consider where we are from, the roots of our faith. And so I want to invite you right now to say aloud or to write in the chat where you are from. A place, perhaps a church or a temple, a mosque, perhaps a location in the world that feels like home. Where are you from? I am from the Salvation Army. Here? Here. The public library. The Baptist Church? Church in the Wildwood. The Catholic Church. The Oregon Coast, the Church in the Wildwood. Okay. Ooh, this is good, y'all. Recovery Southern Baptist. Thank you. Judaism. Okay. The Ursula, okay. All right, we got it. Good job. Oh, you kids have nothing on you. The Ursuline Nuns Church in the Wildwood. Thank you for bringing those beginnings into our space. I'd like to invite Kristina Graff to share our first journey this morning.
Where I'm from. I am from dressing up on Sunday morning, from singing poorly in the children's choir, and from youth group lock-ins. I am from a spacious, striking, stained glass-filled sanctuary. I am from saying grace before dinner, but otherwise not talking very often about religion or faith. I am from our Presbyterian congregation minister, Riley, our Presbyterian youth minister, Don, and briefly from charismatic young life leaders, Evan and Marty. I am from an unobtrusive, polite, neutral, easy denomination. From Sunday school lessons about a loving, accepting, giving Jesus, and what was not to love about that. I'm from making a concerted effort to never take the Lord's name in vain, to pray every night, to read my Good News Bible from page 1. Not because my parents ever said I should, but because that's what kids did in the childhood books I read. I am also from growing feelings of doubt, because the Sunday school loving Jesus made so much sense. But the judgment and exclusion of adult Christianity didn't to me. And I will not even get started on my feelings about hell. I am from envying those of deep faith who could and can believe in something that all makes sense, that rewards us with an afterlife. I'm from suburban New Jersey, from my father's waspy Northeast roots, from my mother's South American heritage and culture. I am from grape juice and wafers at Presbyterian Communion, from the people who came to church every Sunday, but didn't behave in a particularly Christian manner on any other day of the week, as mentioned in passing by my mother, who was herself an erstwhile Catholic turned Presbyterian by marriage, who dutifully dressed us up and brought us to service each week, ensuring we got our sufficient spiritual base, even after my dad vetoed her request to check out the local Unitarian church. I am from choosing independently as a high schooler to attend church every Sunday, when my parents had relegated that decision to us. And now I reflect and I try to recall what called me there, because it was a fully voluntary act. I am from loving the local Young Life program for high schoolers, which led me to reflect, offered adults who inspired me, made me feel seen, and helped me make sense of the world. I'm from a congregation that was not very diverse, and I don't think I noticed the homogeneity then. But now when I look back in my mind's eye, I see it, and I see who and what we were missing. I am from closer memories now of fumbling attempts as parents to bridge the baptism tradition with our growing distance from the Christian church. From the Bible that I still have on my bookshelf, more as an academic reference than as a source of faith, but for reasons that I can't articulate, I never let it go when I do a new round of book cleanouts. I am from religious themed gifts given to us as adults and to our children, and our awkward handling and retention, or not, of said religious themed gifts. I'm from a love of hymns and a love of singing in church, from the joy of my favorite and often religious Christmas carols, from a feeling of comfort as I enter UU sanctuaries that remind me of my childhood places of worship. I'm from devised family gratitude rituals that have now replaced grace and prayers as we have built our own spiritual path to here.
Kristina, thank you so much for inviting us on that journey with you, for bringing us here. I want to invite you now to reflect for a moment. Perhaps you might even close your eyes if it feels comfortable. Bring into your mind's eye the sounds of faith, the smells of faith, whether from your childhood all the way up to this moment. What do you hear when you think about your faith journey? What do you see or smell? What surrounds you? I invite you now and online to share what you sense in your faith journey. Can someone say that louder for me? Spirit of life. Spirit of life. Thank you. Incense. Beeswax candles. Chimes. Potlucks. They smell good. The smell of the first dandelion in spring. Children's voices. Community acceptance. Thank you for bringing those in and allowing them to echo even here in this moment, in this sanctuary. I want to invite Andy to share his journey with us.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Andy Leighton, and I'm a little nervous at being in front of you all. Maybe I shouldn't be. But I'm a little nervous, but I'm not that nervous. I have Parkinson's, and so you might see a little movement on my part, but it's nothing to worry about. Doesn't hurt a bit, and it really helps my wife when we have something that needs to be shaken up good. So I've been a member of UUCA for about 13 years, and about 5 years before that on a getting to know you basis. I was brought up Presbyterian on a quiet street in Syracuse, New York, And picture this. Just by our house, the street curved sharply to the right and also went up a hill. So the city put up a caution sign so that motorists would watch out for children in the neighborhood. There were no sidewalks. And I was 99% sure that the sign, which had two black silhouettes of children walking on a yellow background, I was pretty sure the sign said, "Caution, Presbyterians in road." Actually, it said pedestrians in road. But nonetheless, I'm thinking Presbyterians. I'm thinking that's great for us, but what about the Lutheran children? What about the Methodists? And what about Andy's dark side of the moon religion, the Catholic children? Don't they deserve a watchful eye too? Well, that inclusive sentiment, as limited as it was, probably showed a little UU spark in my youth. My mom taught Sunday school at church. My dad never went to church. In fact, my dad never had anything to do with church until one day he found out that our minister told the congregation not to vote for John F. Kennedy. Because if you voted for Kennedy, who knows, if he got elected, he could take orders from the Pope. Well, my liberal dad hit the ceiling, called the minister over to our house and said, "We want out of this church." And the minister said, "Larry, I'd be happy to put you on the inactive list." And Larry said, "I don't want inactive, I want out." So I was witness to questioning authority at an early age. Let's put it that way. So let's see, I dropped religion in college and for a couple decades. But I knew something was missing, and Presbyterianism wasn't quite broad enough for me. So I was a seeker. Fast forward a few decades, my wife and I found ourselves on the doorstep of UUCA to give it sort of a test drive. So we went to the service, and guess what? Guess what we got? We got a Bible reading and 3 hymns, just like the Presbyterians. Well, that was a little too Christian and too churchy for our taste. So we next discovered the Northern Virginia Ethical Society out in Vienna, which was a welcoming community, a little bit more to our liking. When our son's weekend athletic schedules made the trip out to Vienna difficult, we decided to give UUCA one more chance. Well, we came, there was a different minister who gave a very pragmatic sermon, like the sermons I've heard from so many subsequent UUCA talks. It boiled down to, what are your gifts, and what will you do with your gifts? What really caught my attention, you've heard about the stole, the minister's stole. What really caught my attention was the minister's stole, because there was a symbol on it I could not believe. It wasn't the cross, it wasn't the Star of David, it wasn't the crescent moon and the star. It was, are you ready for this? A question mark. I kid you not. I couldn't believe it. I immediately looked over and whispered to my wife, "Helen, look at that question mark. Even the big guy up front doesn't have all the answers. He's a seeker, just like we are." So my wife agreed, and we were off and running with UUCA. Our sons have done RE probably 20 years ago now, a long time ago. And right now I'm an usher, I'm a covenant group facilitator, and I'm on the nominating committee. And we furthered our commitment to UUCA by making a pledge and contributing to the capital campaign. So how does all of this morph into a statement of faith? It's pretty easy. It comes from one of the recent activities in the Soul Matters Covenant Group materials, which challenged us to describe our faith in 6 words. So And this is the big finish, Reverend Amanda. So, my faith in 6 words. Are you ready? Here goes. Liberal, inclusive, principled, seeking, I'm in.
Andy, thank you so much for sharing the road posts and the signs on your wending journey. We are glad you are in here, and glad too for the roads and byways that your journey took. I want to invite you now to think about your journey to this moment in life. The signposts, the roads not taken, the roads you didn't ever expect to take, and where you find yourself now. What now is sacred to you? What do you find holy? What speaks to your spirit today? Music. Inclusion. Love. Our planet. Peace. Kindness. Acceptance. Social justice. Reason. Online folks, I'm checking the phone. Make sure to share in the chat to be part of this space now. I want to invite now 2 poems from Michele and from Tommy as they share their faith journeys in image and word.
I actually did not do this exercise at home. Last Sunday, I stayed after with my friend Maxine, and all I can say is I sort of got inspired. Roots and wings. I am from incense and syncope, domination and suffocation. Music gives wings to fly up and just glance the divine. The lotus gave purpose, born in mud, it climbs, fights its way up through the air to the sun. Recognizing that church doesn't mean someone else's rules and definition of God. Gather in song, rejoice and dance. The collective is stronger than the soul alone. But the soul has strength in intention. The tree, the sea, the cloud, the earth all share the divine experience.
Well, I'm glad, Andy, that you talked about the question mark, because when it comes to faith and spirituality, I have a lot of questions, and I feel like I'm just a total rookie when it comes to spirituality and faith. And so when we were presented with this opportunity to do just a simple Mad Libs approach to faith, I thought, oh, I'll give that a shot. So I put this together. I'm glad I did it, because it sort of took me to a place I hadn't thought about in a long time. So here it goes, where I'm from. I am from the smell of incense and bright oranges offering, from the comfort of families and meals eaten together. I am from the faded brown carpet, soft under my feet. I am from the lemon tree, bright, yellow, sour, sweet. I am from 3 deep bows in sacrifice, from Buddha and darkness and depression. I am from Om and peace, from good fortune and hard work. I am from money brings happiness, cash, gold, financial security. I'm from Hong Kong, yellow umbrellas and courageous voices in the streets, from pork buns and egg tarts to dark chocolate and ice cream. From war and suffering to the good sun, finding freedom and opportunity. I am from happy days and Three's Company, simple times, family times, working and yearning.
Michele and Tommy, thank you so much for sharing your journeys. Sometimes I say about Unitarian Universalism, and I am not the first to say it, that we are a movement where we have many beliefs and one shared faith. So I offer you from your answers, from 915's answers, and from the answers shared online, our faith journey. We are from the Salvation Army, from a Methodist church in Vermont, from a walk in the woods, from the Oregon coast, from a Baptist church and the Ursuline nuns, from St. Mary's Polish Catholic Church, from a stream that goes to the river. We are from incense and chimes, from crying babies and shushing mamas, from Spirit of Life and beeswax candles. We are from a Sunday school teacher who didn't mind questions, from community, from an open space. We are from the smell of the first dandelion in spring. We are from music, from kindness, acceptance, and peace. We are from justice and reason and a feeling of belonging. We are from our planet. We are from love. May it be so for all of us. Amen.
Gather the Spirit, harvest the prayer. Our separate fires will kindle one flame. Witness the mystery of this song. Our trials in this light appear all the same. Gather in peace, gather in thanks, gather in sympathy now and then, gather in hope, compassion and strength, gather to celebrate once again. Gather the spirit of heart and mind, seeds for the sowing are laid in store, nurtured in love and conscience refined, with body and spirit united once more. Gather in peace, gather in thanks, gather in sympathy now and then, gather in hope, compassion and strength, gather to celebrate Gather the Spirit growing in all, drawn by the moon and fed by the sun. Winter to spring and summer to fall, the chorus of life resounding as one. Gather in peace, gather in thanks, gather in sympathy now and then. Gather in hope, compassion and strength, gather to celebrate once again.
Thank you, Wendy. We are a congregation that gives. We give from the heart, and we open our spirits, and we also open our wallets and checkbooks. One of the things we do best is share the plate. The money that we take on Sunday, 70% of it goes to a group that's doing something that lives our values, that's working in the community to make this place better than it was when we got here. March's Share the Plate is going to UUCA's Youth Social Justice Fund. The fund is used to support our youth in their social justice efforts. Some of the things they've done in the past include working with Native elders on the Navajo Reservation, supporting families affected by mining in West Virginia, and there's other social justice efforts that they put their strength into. They've done clothing drives, they've collected foods. Many of our youth name the service trips, though, as transformational in their spiritual journeys. Their faith development experiences that they have here and that they have had in other countries and that they've had with other groups of people have changed them. Our religious education families and community deeply appreciate the support of this work by Share the Plate. More than just a financial contribution, your donations are an investment in our youth. They show that you believe in them. They show that you support them being seekers. They show that you want to be with them when they're doing good works to change the world. Please open your hearts and your wallets and give as generously as possible. Will the ushers please take an offering? Wonderful. Will you please bring the offering forward? Somewhere over the rainbow. That was lovely. And if you all would just hold it there. Thank you. We bless and receive these gifts, opening our hearts to true generosity. And please join me in these words. Let us be grateful when we give, be it time, talent, or treasure, for giving brings us joy. Let us be grateful for our needs and the experience of vulnerability, for they teach us how to receive in community and love. Let us be grateful for those who share their gifts to nurture this congregation, for it is a blessing to make a difference together. Amen.
Before we close this morning, I want to invite all those who have been visitors for the now completed capital campaign to stand as you are able, so that we might recognize you with gratitude for all you have given this congregation. Friends, these folks and a group of others made between them hundreds of visits, connecting with, well over 300-400 more members of this congregation. And so they get crowns. And we hope that when we join together for ice cream after our service this morning, that you will find someone in a crown and particularly thank them for the care that they have shown to this congregation through this work. Thank you to our visitors. I hope, Linda Battellini, I hope you're putting a crown on your own head, because Linda made, I think, about 45% of the visits herself. And Denise and McGinnis better have crowns on too. They've been passing them out, but I want to see some crowns on those heads as our amazing co-chairs. Thank you so much. To all the staff, Sarah Masters, our capital campaign consultant, Marcia, I'm so grateful. And I am so grateful for all of you, for the UUCA members who shared their stories with us this morning, for the music in this space, for the way that you bring your own faith journey, the twists and the turns, the speed bumps, the finding home. I am grateful that you bring it into this space and this congregation. Amen.